You must be joking. Tatiana looked at Ivan Petrovich with wide eyes. He shook his head. No, I am not joking, but I am giving you time to think because the proposal really is unusual. I even understand exactly what it is associated with in your head. Think about it, weigh everything, and I will come by in a week. Tanya followed him with a bewildered gaze. She could not even comprehend everything he had just told her. She had known Ivan Petrovich for 3 years. He owned a chain of gas stations and something else besides. Tanya worked as a cleaner at one of those gas stations. Ivan Petrovich always greeted everyone with a smile and spoke with the employees. In general, he was a good man. The salary at the station was decent and many people wanted to work there. About 2 months ago, after finishing cleaning, Tanya was sitting outside. She had free time. She only had to tidy up again before the end of her shift, and that was it. The back door opened and out came Ivan Petrovich. May I sit down? Tanya jumped up. Of course, why do you even ask? And why did you jump up? Sit, I do not bite. The weather is good today. Tanya smiled and sat back down. Yes, when spring comes it always seems like the weather is good. Probably because the cold and snow have become unbearable. Perhaps you are right. I have been meaning to ask you something. Why are you working as a cleaner? I heard Larissa offered you several times to transfer to an operator position. The pay is higher, and the work is cleaner. I would love to, but I cannot because of the schedule. I have a little daughter, she is sick. When she is doing well, my neighbor looks after her. But when she has a flare-up, I have to be there myself. That is why Ivanovna and I share shifts. Thanks to her. She always helps me out when needed. I see. And what is wrong with your daughter? Oh, do not even ask. None of the doctors have been able to figure it out. She has these attacks, she cannot breathe. Panic and all sorts of other things. The doctors just shrug. They say she needs a serious examination, but it is not available free of charge. They said we need to wait until puberty, and maybe then it will go away by itself. Strange doctors indeed. Well, hold on, everything will be all right. Tanya thanked him, and in the evening she found out that Ivan Petrovich had issued her a bonus. He never said why, just gave it. She had not seen him since then, but today he came to her house. Tanya honestly nearly fainted, first from seeing him, then from hearing what he was proposing. And what he was proposing was this. Ivan Petrovich had a son, almost 30 years old. 7 of those 30 years he had been in a wheelchair. He had been in an accident, and since then, no matter what the doctors did, he could not stand up. Because of this, he had fallen into deep depression. Recently, he did not even want to speak with his father. And so, it occurred to Ivan Petrovich that his son needed to marry, truly marry, so that he would want to live, so that he would want to fight. Ivan Petrovich, of course, was not sure about anything, but he decided to try. And it seemed to him that Tanya was the ideal candidate. Tatiana, you will live well. You will have everything. Your daughter will undergo all the necessary examinations. I am offering you a job for a year. After a year you may leave no matter what happens. Whether Stas improves or not, I will pay you very well. Tatiana could not even find the words out of outrage, but Ivan Petrovich apparently understood everything. Tanya, I am begging you, help me. Agree, it is a mutually beneficial offer. I am not even sure that my son will touch you, but it will be easier for you since you are a decent woman, and besides, you will be officially married. Just imagine that you married not for love. I ask only one thing, whatever decision you make, let this conversation remain between us. Wait, Ivan Petrovich. I am just curious. Does your Stas agree to all this? The man smiled sadly. He said, I do not care. I will lie to him, say I have problems in business or with my health or something else. I just need him to be married, truly married. Stas has always trusted me. So this lie will be for the greater good. Ivan Petrovich left, and Tanya sat for a long time. Deep down she was indignant at such a proposal, but his straightforwardness somehow softened the edges. If you think about it, what would she be capable of for little Sonia? A lot. And he was also a father, and he also loved his son. Her shift was not even over when Tanya received a call. Tanyusha, quickly, Sonia is having a terrible attack. I am running, I will call an ambulance. Tanya and the doctors arrived at the gate at the same time. Where have you been, mother? The doctor looked at her sternly. I was at work. This time the attack was really severe. Tanya timidly asked. Maybe she should go to the hospital? The doctor, who had been to their house many times before, replied wearily. What is the point? You know perfectly well that they will not do anything there, only upset the child. You need to go to the capital, to a good clinic, to good specialists. 40 minutes later, the doctors left. Tanya picked up the phone and called Ivan Petrovich. I agree. Sonia is in trouble again. The next day they were leaving. Ivan Petrovich himself came, accompanied by a young, clean-shaven man. Tanya, take only the essentials, we will buy everything else. She nodded. Sonia was curiously examining the car. It was so big. Ivan Petrovich squatted down in front of the girl. Do you like it? Very much. Can I sit in the front seat? I want to see everything. May I, Mama? Her mother said strictly. If the police see you, they will fine us. Ivan Petrovich laughed, opened the door. Jump in, Sonia. We will find those policemen ourselves. The closer they got, the more nervous Tanya became. Lord, why had she agreed? What if there was some kind of deranged monster there? Ivan Petrovich noticed her state. Tanya, calm down, we still have a week before the wedding. You can change your mind. And one more thing, Stas is a good guy, smart, but something broke inside him. You will see for yourself. Tatiana got out of the car, helped her daughter out, turned, and froze. It was not a house, it was a castle. And Sonia could not keep quiet. She exclaimed, Mom, are we going to live like in a fairy tale? Ivan Petrovich laughed and lifted the little girl in his arms. Do you like it? Very much. Up until the wedding, Stas and Tanya only saw each other a few times at dinner. The young man hardly ate or spoke. He was simply present at the table, while Tanya glanced at him from time to time. Handsome in general but pale. Surely because he never went outside. She understood that he felt no better than she did, and she was grateful that Stas never touched on the subject of the wedding. On the wedding day, it seemed like 100 people were running around Tanya. Just the day before, they had brought the dress. When Tanya saw it, she sat down in shock. How much must it cost? Ivan Petrovich smiled. Tanya, you are so impressionable, it is better that you do not know. By the way, look what else I have. And he brought out a complete copy of her dress, only very small. Sonia, want to try it on? The little girls squealed so loudly that they had to cover their ears. Then came the fitting. The little princess strutted around the room in her beautiful dress. At one moment Tanya turned and noticed Stas. He was standing at the open door of his room looking at Sonia, and he was smiling slightly. Her daughter's room was now next to their bedroom. Their bedroom. Tanya could not even imagine what would happen now. Ivan Petrovich suggested they go to the country house, but Stas shook his head. Thank you, father, we will stay home. The bed was enormous. Stas was far away and seemed not to intend to approach her. So Tanya, who had planned to stay awake all night, soon fell asleep. A week passed. In the evening she and Stas even talked sometimes. He really turned out to be incredibly intelligent, and he made no attempts on her. Tanya gradually began to relax. One night she suddenly jumped up. Something had happened. Her heart was pounding. Tanya rushed to her daughter's room. And yes, Sonia was having an attack. Stas helped call an ambulance. He was already in his wheelchair at the door, quickly grabbed the phone, and within a minute, a sleepy Ivan Petrovich came running. I will call Alexei. The ambulance doctors were strangers to her. Apparently completely different teams came here. Look at their suits, their equipment. And then the family doctor arrived. The doctors discussed for a long time after the attack ended. Tanya was with her daughter, Stas was nearby. He held the girl's hand in his. Tatiana, has she had this since birth? Yes, since the very beginning. We have been in hospitals many times, undergone all kinds of tests, but nothing. That is why Sonia's father said we should not get in his way. And did you love him? Probably, but it was so long ago. That is why I agreed to your father's proposal. Tanya raised her eyebrows in surprise. Stas just smiled. My father thinks I do not know anything, but I have always read him like an open book. I was afraid, though, of who he would find for me. But when I saw you, I was surprised. You are nothing like those who would agree to anything for money. And now it feels like everything has fallen into place. Tanya, do not cry. We will definitely cure Sonia. She is strong. She has not broken, unlike me. And why did you break? You are smart, handsome. You are a good man. He smirked. Tell me, would you have married me under other circumstances? Tanya thought for a second, then nodded. Yes. I think it would be much easier to love you than many of those who run around. But that is not the point. I do not know how to explain. Stas smiled. No need to explain. You know, for some reason I believe you. A few days later, Tatiana found Stas doing something strange. He had taken out some sort of device and was doing something with it. It looked like he was exercising. And what is that? It is a trainer. Right after the accident, it was necessary to spend at least 10 hours a day on it, but I decided that nothing would help me anymore. And now, you know, I feel ashamed before Sonia, before you. There was a knock at the door. Ivan Petrovich appeared. May I? Come in, of course, father. The man froze on the threshold when he saw what his son was doing. Then he swallowed hard, turned to Tanya. Tell me, did you have a difficult childbirth? What is it? You see, the doctor said that most likely Sonia was pulled out roughly and her temporal bone was damaged. It healed on the outside, nothing is visible. But inside it presses on some nerve. It cannot be. Tanya sat down. And what do we do now? Tears quickly rolled down her cheeks. Now do not cry. The doctor said it is not so scary, but surgery is needed. They will remove what is pressing inside. And Sonia will be an ordinary girl. But it is her head. It is dangerous. Stas reached for her, took her hand. Tanya, listen to father. Sonia will be able to live without attacks. But it is expensive. Ivan Petrovich looked at her in surprise. This is not something you should worry about. You are part of the family. Tanya stayed in the hospital with Sonia. The operation went well. They were promised that in 2 weeks they would be home. Home. And now Tanya no longer understood. Where was her home, really? Stas called often and they had long conversations. With her, with Sonia, with both. To Tanya it felt as though they had known each other for 100,000 years. Time passed. The year would end quickly. And then what? Tanya did not even want to think about it. They returned home in the evening. Ivan Petrovich came for them, but he was rather gloomy. Did something happen? I do not even know how to say it. Stas has been drinking for 2 days. What? But he never drinks. Exactly. He trained on the machine for a month, then lost his temper, said nothing was working. Tanya went into the room. Stas was sitting in the dark. She turned on the light, began gathering bottles from the table. Where are you taking that? You will not drink anymore. And why not? Because I am your wife, and I do not like that you drink. Stas was confused, then said, well, it will not be for long. Sonia is healthy now, so there is no reason to stay with a cripple. Tanya straightened up. Did you mean to say with an idiot, Stas? I thought you were strong, that you were smart, that you could do everything. I could not have been wrong about you. He lowered his head. Forgive me. It seems I failed. But now I am home. Maybe we can try again. The year was coming to an end. Ivan Petrovich was very nervous. Stas had only just begun to stand on his own. He could not walk yet, but the doctor said that at this pace he would be running soon. And Tanya, she was supposed to leave soon. Maybe he should offer her more money. At dinner, Tanya came out with Sonia and Stas in his wheelchair. Father, we have news for you. He looked at them fearfully, then only at Tanya. You are leaving? Tanya and Stas exchanged glances. Tatiana shook her head. Not exactly. Oh, do not torment me already. You will soon be a grandfather. Sonia will have a little brother or sister. Ivan Petrovich was silent for a long time, and then he simply cried. He pulled them all close to him and wept.